Ladies and gentlemen, it is the 8th of June. It's 10 in the morning, pretty hot outside, and these refrigeration trucks, all running, they're carrying part of the bodies of over 6,000 Ukrainian soldiers that have been collected and identified from the Kursk Oblast. These men died in Kursk. Their remains have been collected. They've been identified. There's a lot more that died. Obviously, Ukraine lost some of them, around 60,000, including mercenaries. So 6,000. 10% of these were collected up and were able to be identified and were offered back to Ukraine. These 4 particular trucks are only carrying a portion of that dead. They've already been to the Ukrainian border. The inhuman illegal regime of Zelensky and company refused to take these bodies. Why? Because this is used up material, biomass. They don't care about these people. They don't care about the families of these people. They just don't care. Because, by the way, if they take them back, they have to admit to these casualties, and they have to pay compensation to the families, and they just don't want to. This is what we're dealing with. So this is Bryansk, the city of Bryansk, and I will have more to report. At 11 o'clock, we have a briefing from the government. As you listen to the hum of the refrigeration units, you can think of it also as the hum of anger of the souls of these men, many of whom were picked up off the streets and press gangs, thrown into this meat grinder, not understanding for whom they were fighting for really, or what they were dying for. Thrown away, no longer needed biomaterial. An unfortunate portion of what the Zelensky regime stands for and what its Western backers stand for. As Lindsey Graham said, the best money he could spend. Blumenthal, Lindsey, you're soulless bastards. I mean, you really are. You're soulless, hell-bound bastards. But this is the result. These machines are carrying the remains of that best money America ever spent. This is what it means to have America spend money on your country. You're used up, thrown away, and that regime now refuses to take these bodies back. They don't want to admit, they don't want to pay the families. They're just thrown away. They'd prefer that these men just rotted away somewhere in a Kursk forest, or eaten by pigs, or by rats, anything but to have to admit that these men were dead, and that the government of Ukraine has financial obligations to the families whose sons, fathers, grandfathers, in some cases, brothers, uncles, they threw away like meat. Absolutely not needed now. Unwanted, uncared for. And the tens of thousands of people in Ukraine that cannot say their goodbyes to these men because they can't get these men back. Their hopes are kept alive that they are missing in action. They may be somewhere in a POW camp. In reality, many of their remains are in these refrigeration trucks right now. This is what we face. This is the regime the American taxpayer supports. A murderous, psychotic, inhumane, animalistic, mercantilistic regime that cares nothing about anybody except how to line its pockets with your taxpayer dollars, with the debt that your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren have to pay off, while they're going to be sipping away on martinis and punch somewhere in a subtropical location, living off of the money that you gave. But at least your grandchildren and children aren't going to be rotting, hopefully, in these refrigeration trucks like these men. Think about it. Is this what you really support? Is this what American values are? Because this is exactly what the world sees that American values are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the general from the emergency services stated, Russia is carried out all of its duties for the agreement. These 4 trucks, there's over 1,200 corpses or parts of corpses of Ukrainian soldiers Ukraine has refused to accept them. These trucks in 1 hour will be leaving again for the Ukrainian border, again to try to give them back. The rest of the bodies are train-bound, refrigeration cars. Equally, Ukraine does not want its people back, the government of Ukraine. The people of Ukraine want their people back. They want to say goodbye to their loved ones, but the Ukrainian government just does not give a damn. This is the regime that the Western taxpayer supports. The Western politicians key to. So that's how it is. It's got a steak like a motherfucker. Это один из фур рефрижераторов. Не могу даже объяснить вонь, которая